So, Colin, nice to meet you.
Same here.
My name's Laurence, and your name's Colin
Deakin.
Colin Deakin. Okay. And you were a miner.
I worked on the surface at Bentley Colliery.
The surface at Bentley Colliery, right?
Yeah.
Bentley's the quite famous one, isn't it? Lots of stories from Bentley.
Yes, yes.
And what were your dates? I know you said you couldn't remember much dates-wise.
Well, I started in 1964,
Right.
and I worked for several years. I worked on the surface and the where are we? On the picking belts.
Picking belts. What's a picking
Yes.
belt?
I started off on the picking belts. That was just where the raw coal came from the mine.
Right.
And
So they call that pickings, do they?
yes, it's where you be taking scrap off, throwing dirt and middlings into a bin which went into a wagon.
What's a middling?
That is, middlings is a lump of rock with, well, it's coal with particles of dirt in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that, I mean, are you doing that by hand?
Yes, that
So
was
it's like-
taken
it's
off
like
by
My
hand.
wife used to work on a pea line in Bird's Eye Pea Factory.
Yeah.
I used to pick out the bad peas. I mean, it's literally like a piece of coal, you can tell immediately that that coal's got dirt in it.
Yes.
And you hand pick it out.
They picked it out, threw it down a chute.
That's not your main job. That wasn't your main job.
No, then
That's
I was on there for a while.
Yeah.
And then I ended up in the washers. Well, I went round then oiling and greasing then, keeping the
Oiling in English.
yes with a oil can, keeping the picking belts freely running.
Right.
Yeah, and taking up gearboxes, doing all that, and going on. Yeah.
Gosh. So did you spend any time down at all down the
No,
mine?
no.
So the coal coming up, varying types, and do you have to go to training and train for all that, or did you learn on the spot?
You learn on the spot. Yeah. Then we went into the coal prep plant, and that's where I ended up then in charge of the plant then after a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh. So how many guys would there be like you on the?
Well, when I first started, there were about 16 men in the coal prep plant. Well, in and around that area from the plant to the wagon lowerers. Yeah, but then we ended up with a handful then.
Was that because of
Yes,
mechanisation?
Yes, mechanisation, and as men left, they never replaced. So we all ended up with several jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
God.
But,
And was that a good thing for you, or
it was hard
a
work.
stressful thing?
Yes, it was at times, yeah, when things went wrong, which they invariably did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you key to the whole, when you say when things went wrong, if the line stopped, did it affect down below?
Oh yes.
So you got the stress of the whole mine
Oh yeah, yeah.
trying to if you haven't oiled your...
No. Well, in the coal prep plant,
Yeah.
where I actually, I spent quite a few years in the coal prep plant, and yes, if you had the pit stood, you'd have them on us backs from down the mine. Yeah.
And did that happen much?
Well, occasionally, especially if we couldn't transport the. We had a belt where you could divert the coal from the washers outside, and they would stock the coal, and then just to keep the mine going. But at times there were times when we couldn't do that.
Right.
So, and that's when you would have the management on the phone and using polite language.
God.
Well, what's the matter up there, you know?
Yeah.
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 Why have you got the pit stood?
God.
Yeah.
Do you know, and what sort of damage would that, I mean, it's a financial damage. I mean, that's going to be quite... Is that, I mean, a pit stopping like that?
Oh yeah,
That's
because
a major...
yeah. Oh yeah, you'd yeah. Mind you, I believe they had storage bunkers down the mine, but I don't know exactly when that. Yeah.
And so did you mix with the miners much down below?
Yes, when we came out of the, went into the baths or Yeah.
Yeah.
You mix with everybody.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the camaraderie that they often speak of, did that travel up to you? I mean,
Oh,
it's kind of,
yes.
we're all in it together, and because I mean, everyone always talks. Every time it's about the humour, friendships, the camaraderie, the community, the incredible kind of. And you definitely, the guys on top like you, weren't seen as another breed. You were definitely part of that.
No. The things
part of
went
that.
off at times, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Which you couldn't do today and get away with it.
Oh,
but
really? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
No.
Things went off.
Oh, yes. Greased when you first start, when you was a new starter, yeah.
What does that mean? Well, grease. What you were?
Well, yes, oh, yeah, they...
What do they do? They grease. What do they do?
Strip you and grease you.
Strip you and grease you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my word! Really?
Definitely.
Oh God!
Yes, once wiping myself down, the area superintendent came in and said, "Oh, what's the matter with him? Oh, he's got diarrhea." And yes, that's.
Oh my
Yes.
God! Was that? I mean, I haven't heard of the initiation ceremony.
Oh yes.
Really?
Initiation.
We've
yeah.
done what 30 heads now,
Yes.
and I haven't had an initiation story.
Oh, there you are.
Yes.
So it's quite common.
Well, maybe. I mean that. Yeah, but anyhow, I better not say too much.
You must say everything. It's important. This is social history. These are the important stories.
Yes.
Gosh. So they you've got to tell me some. Oh, so they were greasing, the stripping and greasing was one.
Yes.
Okay, and that was that particular to a certain type of initiate, or was it or was it everyone got stripped and greased?
I believe quite a few did. Yeah. But
So then is it
that,
straight?
I can't speak for everybody.
I'm
but
sure you can't. No, but
No,
I'm listening to you. We're here
Yeah.
today,
Yes.
and you can testify to being stripped and greased at Bentley Colliery in 1964.
Well, it'd be possibly. Yeah, I can't remember dates, but
And you've got no photographic evidence.
No,
no.
But you were around then.
no.
You weren't around.
I was only 14.
Oh, crike, of course.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
Well, 75.
75, bloody hell. Not bad, eh? Very fit looking. You said you were going to the gym today instead of coming here.
No, that was yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
Gosh. So you're doing weights?
No. It's art rehab.
Art rehab?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not letting you off the initiation stories, but we'll continue with your... So you had a bit of a heart condition?
Yes, angina, but
Right.
yeah.
That wasn't related, obviously, because
No,
you
no,
weren't in
no.
dusty areas or anything like that, were you? Yeah. Gosh. So what other initiations happened then?
Well, when you've got curly hair, like like I have,
Yes.
you used to get rabbits' hair drawn on top of your scalp occasionally.
Rabbit's hair?
Well, yes.
Rabbit hairs drawn on
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Hair, like a rabbit drawn on your head.
Yeah, with marker pencil and yes,
So they used to what? Draw hair on your head?
yes, occasionally. Yeah,
With a marker pencil, it would never come off.
yes,
So you have to
Often-
go.
For a while.
yes,
So you go home to the wife and say, "What have they done to you?"
yes. Yellow marker pen. Yeah,
Yellow.
yes, yeah. But, yes.
So would they pin you down? How would they get to your head? And you was how would you?
Oh
not
no,
have-
well, that to be at the sink that way during snap time. If,
Okay.
yeah.
At the sink.
Yes, in
So
the.
they force your head into
Oh
the sink.
no. Against the sink occasionally, if
Good
yeah.
God.
But yeah.
All in the good spirits by the sound. of
Oh
it.
yes, yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, it was an hard job at times, and sometime during snap breaks or.
Yeah. So your snap breaks obviously were above ground because you were down.
Yes, yeah.
But the same kind of culture as you did down below. the kind of culture of snap tins and the
Yeah,
food and all
yeah.
that
You
sort of stuff.
didn't have a snap tin though, did you?
Well, I first had a snap tin, you know,
Yeah.
first, but then, just had sandwiches then in a,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what were you? Were you a booted and suited guy? Or were you just casually dressed? Did you have to wear a boiler suit or something? Or
Yes, yeah.
you were in boiler
The orange
suits?
suits, what
Orange suits, yeah.
No pictures on any of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you mind removing your glasses for a while so I can see your? Is that going to affect you?
No.
Good.
Yeah, that's what you'd wear, isn't it? Those orange.
Oh, okay.
Look, this is Bentley Bulletin.
Bentley
It's an
Bulletin.
old one.
The future looks good.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It
Yes.
did.
Wow. Fantastic. Bloody hell, those props.
What's? Oh yes, yeah,
That's just incredible, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, we don't have one of the surface.
No. And that's the and that is it.
Yes, yeah.
That's the only one we've got now.
So, but you weren't. Where were you in relation to that? Were you? You were
Over
down
here.
there.
Yeah, called Pratt Plant.
The future looks good. So, what date is that?
1980.
1980.
Where are we?
Do you want me to have a look?
Yes, I can't read it. It's 1980.
This is April 1990.
Oh, that one.
This is, yeah.
Yes, right. April 1990. Yeah.
So, so you was from 64 to when was it? How long were you there?
Almost 30 years.
30 years.
29. Well, almost 30 years.
So going back to this, I was quite interested in this idea of the coal line, and you got these characters literally picking out
Oh yes.
the coal.
That weren't your main job though.
No,
No, but it's an interesting part of it. I haven't really. talked
Oh
about
yeah,
it before.
but
So, I mean-
then everything changed. Then they gradually disappeared. It came straight from the mine
Yeah.
onto belts into the coal prep plant.
So how did it come to you then? When before the mechanisation, how was it coming out of the mine before the belts?
It'd be tubs.
Tubs. So it came
Yeah.
out on railway track, as it were. And you
Yes.
literally-
Well, yeah. It
You-
had come out of the mine. You would have sets of 3 tubs.
Right. So they literally, and they're yay big, yay deep.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're actually digging through the tubs.
No. The tubs would come out of and right now. They'd come from the cage. They'd be pushed out of the cage with an hydraulic ramp.
So they come up a lift or up a.
Yes, out of the ground from underneath the ground.
Yeah.
They would come up, and then you'd got 2 decks.
Yeah.
And they'd be pushed out, and then they'd come down. They would come on the rails to the tipplers.
Right, and they get tipped out.
Yeah, tipped out, and then they would come onto the picking belts, and then the belts would come round towards the coal prep plants.
Right. Okay.
Yes, that was quite hard work, because on my first day I got the finger trapped.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, you got one of those. Ooh, it's looking like a nasty little
Yes. Put your ear. This chap came up to me on the first day when I was on the tub circuit, and he says, "Oh, put your hand there, lad." Anyhow, it happened to be a buffer, a tub without buffers.
Oh,
And yes, it split it like a pea pod.
really?
Yeah,
On your first day?
on the first day, within the first quarter of an hour.
Really?
Yes,
So your first day was off?
yes, for several weeks while it healed up. Yeah.
Did you rather feel like this is not the job for me?
Well, it makes one wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go in your first quarter of an hour, you lose your finger, Then you got 2 weeks off to think about it, saying, is this the career for me? I mean, did you have career options? What was your education? What was your parent? What were your parents?
Father worked in the mines.
Mm.
He worked down Bentley Colliery. He was a cutter.
And was he there when you were there?
Yes, yes, yes.
And was that a good thing?
Well, I've been on overtime once. I've been on afters. And I had to work while 2 o'clock in the morning. And I came, it's the first time actually I saw him in the nude.
You saw your dad in a nude?
Yes.
Not being initiated?
No. I went up to him, tapped him on the back. Excuse me, mate, can you wash me back? And there, and behold, it's my father.
Really?
Really? Yes. Yes.
And what did he say? Bugger off.
First time I'd actually heard him swear.
So was he compliant? Did he scrub your back?
Yes, yes.
Oh, good. Go for that. I'm going to say there'll be some serious issues if he didn't.
Yes. Yes, there were quite a few of the family there at that. But yes, I had uncles there. And
Really? So
Yeah.
you were dying in the wool mining family then?
yes, oh yes, yeah.
Gosh.
Myself and my cousin were the last there.
Really?
Last of the family, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So I suppose that when I say how did that feel, you don't really know how it wouldn't feel, would you? How to have all
No,
your
it
family.
was, yeah, yes, it was, well, it was a family thing in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your dad was a cutter.
Yes.
So was he really happy for you to come down the mine?
Well, he didn't want me to go down the mine, so that's partially why I never went down the mine. I stayed on the pit top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you want to go down the mine then when you
Not
first started?
really, no. I wasn't bothered. You
No.
know, I was all right on the surface.
Yeah. There wasn't like a romance to it that you...
No.
You did try to get out of it though, didn't you?
Yes, but yeah.
Out of what? Out of mining?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you? What, early on?
Yes, I can't remember how many. I think I spent about 5 or 6 years there. Then I went male nursing for a
Oh,
while.
right. And how was that?
All right, but yes.
Any initiation ceremonies there?
No. No, it was nothing like the mines.
No.
No.
And so how long did you do that for?
About 4 or 5 years, and
Oh,
then
really?
I went back to the mine.
Oh gosh, so why did you return?
Well, I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't feel it was me, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you think a lot to do with family? And the fact that your family were... Or was it much more to do with how you felt personally?
Well, yes, I went back to earn more money,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah. Probably a mistake maybe over the years, but anyhow.
Why would you think it would be a mistake?
Well, you look back, arthritis, you know, and
Oh, I see.
yeah.
I mean, do you think...
But you make these decisions in life, and
Yeah, I mean... So, back to your childhood then. The son of a miner. And your mother... Did your mother work, or was she...
no.
Stay at home mum.
Stay-at-home
How
mum.
many of you were there?
I'm the eldest of 5.
5.
Yeah.
And what sort of house were you in?
Well, we started off in a
Prefab.
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 Yeah, 126 Jossy Lane.
And where's that, in Doncaster? Or-
Yes, Scorthorpe.
Okay.
Yeah, then from there we spent a few years in the prefab, and then from there to a council house.
Right. So you didn't have mining cottages or anything like that?
No,
Mining
no,
houses?
no.
You weren't in a miner's row of houses or...
No.
And was there a
no.
reason for that? The reason why you didn't have that kind of...
Well, it's what came up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just twist, that's it, just a little bit. That's it, right. Thank you. A little bit more. Thank you. And so you had 5 brothers, and are you saying you all had your own bedrooms?
No, there were only 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms. Yeah.
3 bedrooms, so your mum and dad had one.
Yes.
Did they share it with any of
The
their...
girls in 2 sisters, they would be in 1 bedroom, and then the brother and I, and then, yeah.
So there's 3 of you in your room.
Well, there would only be two for a good while.
Yes,
wouldn't there?
yes.
The fifth one came
As I was
along.
leaving school, my younger brother was born.
Okay. Wow. So that was a bit of a shock.
Yes.
Did you get on with him? I suppose you were off and out before you...
Yes, yeah.
It's the least one that you do get on with, isn't it, really?
Yes, yeah.
So was your dad a tough guy or a...
Quite strict.
Yeah, strict?
Yes, that's how it was in them days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was yes, he was okay. He was a good father.
Was he a proud miner or a miner that cursed the job every time he went in?
No, no. He was a proud miner.
So mining was considered kind of it had a lot of cachet. I suppose it was like a proud tradition. Was his father a miner?
Yes.
Blimey, right, I mean... So you've come, really, you are mining. How many generations does it go back?
I would say my mum's father, he was a miner as well. So it would go back several generations, I would have thought.
Does that sort of thing interest you?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Were they all Bentley? Where they?
Well, my grandfather, they moved several times. They lived in Tolbar. They moved several times. They followed the money in when my father was a lad.
So Tobar, where's Tobar?
Tolbar,
Next to Bentley.
next to
Oh,
Bentley.
okay.
Yes, yeah.
So it wasn't. They haven't moved from Wales or anything like that.
No,
They
no.
moved from the next mine.
Well, my grandfather, Grandfather Deakin, he moved several times to Chesterfield,
Right.
moving where the mines paid more money.
Right.
And then some of the family was born in Chesterfield, some of the family was born in Doncaster, and that's they just
Okay.
followed the money in those days.
Yeah. So was there a great variety in wages? I mean, you'd get a different. I mean, obviously, there'd be. I mean, it wasn't
That's
a universal kind of fee for a miner across the country. You got
Wouldn't be
higher wages.
in the days of my grandfather, because they would have been privately owned up until
Yes, of course.
yeah.
Until the NCB came in.
Yeah.
Gosh, so it really is in the blood. Totally in the blood. I mean, you're a rare creature.
I still think of myself as a from a mining family. Yeah.
I can't think how you wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did all these guys escape injury? Just look forward.
My father died of emphysema.
Right.
Died at 57.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Gosh. And that was quite a common thing.
Yes, he didn't have the last few years of his life. He was a poorly man.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's at the time, obviously no protective clothing down there, no masks, no...
No.
No.
Jesus.
No. They had no sprays on the machines at that time.
To cut the dust down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he worked in stone a lot of the time.
So when you say worked in stone, you mean that coal is found in the stone?
Well, yeah, there was a lot of stone at times down the mine where he cut through. Yeah.
And the stone creates the...
Yes.
So it's not. Sometimes it's not the coal dust, it's the
Well,
stone dust.
it would have been both, I would have thought. Yeah. She used to spit into a bucket,
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was horrible. But not a very nice illness, emphysema.
No. I made it, and it's horrible kind of to say, but it's unnecessary. I mean, it could have been so avoided, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I would think that your job is causing that, really. So, what did you do after mining? Did you retire from mining, or did you have another?
You went into the coal sampling lab, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
All right. What's all that about then? So, what's the coal sampling? Is that on? Would that be on site, Bentley, or is that?
Yes,
somewhere
yes, yeah. We would go over and, well, there was automatic sampler, what came across the flow of coal.
Yeah.
And it would take this sample every hour, just shoot, and then it would come down then into a bag. And so you would take that bag of coal, sample crushed coal,
Right.
you would take it to the lab, and then you put it onto the floor, and you would quarter it right the way down until you got a handful.
Quarter. How do you mean by quartering?
Well, you'd be spreading it out and
Dividing it up.
dividing it up, yes.
Okay. And what are you looking for? I mean, now you're assessing quality.
Yes, yes.
And
What
is it you're looking for in coal to assess quality? What's
the ash content?
Ash content.
Ash content of the coal, yeah.
So hang on a minute. Ash. Why it hasn't been burnt yet?
No, but you see, we had to take the samples. We take a sample at the colliery,
Right.
and then every day then, well, there would come, the area would come and collect our bags of samples. They would go back and check our samples, and the power stations then would, they would also sample
Right.
to make sure, because I believe the mines got paid on the quality of the coal.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure that our coal was decent.
So are you pre-burning it? You're burning it and then you're going through the ash.
Oh yes, yes.
So and then the ash content basically means how much wood is, how does the ash in a piece of coal determine its quality? How does it arrive? I mean, if you've got coal being burnt,
It's only
it's
a
the
little,
stuff.
you don't
It
have
would
to
go-
put a little bit in a dish, wouldn't you?
You'd-
Put it in a microwave.
Well, it would go into a microwave after we've sampled it and crushed it.
Right.
We would take small amounts off, put it into small pots like that,
Yeah.
and they would go into a computer,
Oh, right.
and that would give you the sample,
The ash content.
the ash content.
And did it vary a lot?
Sometimes, and so that's what, if it varied too much, we would ring up the washers and they would sort it out up in the washer.
So how does the washing of the coal?
That's Colin in doing the sampling
Look at
with
you.
the computer.
Look at you and your hair.
Yes.
To camera. That's a fantastic machine. It's got a radiation sticker on it.
Yes, yes. Very early computer, that,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yes.
So I don't understand how the washers will affect
Right.
the
Well,
quality of
what
the coal.
you had two baths,
Right.
and in this bath, one bath, the primary bath, would be 1.4 specific gravity,
Right.
and the secondary bath would be 1.6 specific gravity. So what would happen then, as the raw coal came into the primary bath,
Yeah.
your coal would float. That would be taken over by large floats onto the screens, and then the screens would separate then various sizes.
Okay.
The dirt would sink to the bottom of the bath. That would go into a secondary bath. The middlings would float, and the dirt then would sink, and that would end up on the tip.
Okay.
So if your bath, in your primary bath, became too heavy, or too light. That's why you want to keep it, yeah, you want to keep it more or less right.
Okay, so it's a question of the quality of the leftovers from the wash that was getting through to the next level.
Oh yes,
Stuff you would assess.
if it went up the tip, yeah, you'd lost coal. Yeah.
I got you. So you can then assess the quality of the coal by the amount of stuff you're throwing away. So you tell the washer to retain,
Yes.
to lose 2%, 5% or whatever,
Yeah.
because you're giving us too much rubbish
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
not enough rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hang on a minute, this is too good.
Yeah.
Can you
yeah.
just
Well, yeah. Yeah. You'd say the density of the bath was slightly. It wanted either topping up one way or the other.
okay. And was that a daily event,
Oh yes. Yes.
changing the
Yeah. Yeah.
quality of the washers, or was that an hourly event?
Well, yes, it was an hourly thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So it didn't have much to do with the actual coal coming out of the ground. It was to do with how it was treated once it came up.
Oh yes. Yeah. Well, we've had some early on. We've had some rough shifts, especially when you would have when they got the ponies down the mine,
All right.
and yes, you'd got tubs of horse muck come up. Yes, occasionally that happened.
Really?
Oh yeah, we've had it occasionally.
Is that as a joke or a?
No, sheer accident.
And you're assessing in the. You're washing horse muck.
Yes, well, you'd have to clean the chutes out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
You've got lots of new information for me, I have to say. This has all been very, very interesting. So, so the horses were actually, could be problematic.
that's when you'd got the ponies down the mine, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had a few of that
So do you
early on
remember
in
that?
the years.
Remember that period of?
Oh yes, that was early on before, yeah. Yeah, that was early on. That.
So after you went into the what's analysis, I suppose it was called, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you stay until your retirement?
No, I had to finish. I worked to almost 60, and I had to finish with ill health.
You went in the weighbridge, didn't you?
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah. Yes. Latter off, I weighed all the coal out of the. I was one of the last men to finish at Bentley.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. All the stock coal. Yeah.
Stock pole.
Stock coal.
Stock coal, sorry.
Yeah.
So you were at the end of Bentley then?
Yes.
So you had to finish, but you saw Bentley out.
Yes. Yes.
So you were one of the last men working in Bentley.
Yes. Well. Yeah. On that side. Yeah.
So that's 2 or 3 generations of your family working in Bentley, and you were the last. Was there an incredible feeling of?
It was sad, really. It was, it was sad, really, seeing what you thought you'd got a job for life, then it suddenly taken away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were 50, weren't you, when?
Yes. Yeah.
So is that when but you retired when you were 60? So that was you were.
Yes.
You went into analysis at 50. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You didn't
Yes.
retire at 50 though, you went into school, didn't you? As a
Yes.
special needs assistant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that carried on, that idea of caring and nursing.
Yeah. Yeah. I went into the schools. Helping out in the classroom. I did that for a while, and then I thought I was. Then from there, I went back to special needs for a while. I thought I was going to do something else, but it never materialised.
What did you think you were going to do?
Well, I went to this care home. I thought I was going to be make within projects making wooden things, with the hands.
All right. What do you mean?
But,
Into what? So school? Do you say?
no, I worked in a school for a while.
Yeah.
Helped as a classroom assistant
Yeah.
at various schools. And then after what would it be? I'd be there about 4 years. Then I went to a care home. And yes, I worked amongst special needs again. And that lasted for about 4 years.
Right.
And then I had problems with the heart.
Right.
Yeah. So
And you basically became retired at that point?
Yes, yes. I finished. Well, it was asthma.
Asthma?
Yes, I developed asthma. Yeah.
That's quite a hard time.
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yes, yes.
You didn't want them... Oh, I suppose there wasn't any mines to go down by the time...
No.
Did you feel that, in a sense of... Was that a liberation for you, in the sense of as a family? Did you feel like, oh, it's good
I suppose.
kids don't have to do that?
Yes,
anyway?
I suppose so, yeah. Yeah. Yes,
What did they end up doing?
well, we lost his first daughter, 3.5. Sarah, we lost Sarah at 3.5. Simon spent 14 years in the army, and Emma works for the British Red Cross.
Oh, right.
Not
Yeah.
Simon.
No, Simon was in the forces, now he's a bus driver now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he... where did he go with was he in the army?
Yes.
And did he travel and did he see action, as it were?
Yes.
Yes.
Where was that?
Iraq.
Did he go to Iraq?
Yes.
Bloody hell. That's pretty tough as a parent, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Yes, yeah.
We were on a TV programme.
Were you?
They did a TV programme called Soldier Husband, Daughter, Dad.
Really?
So,
And how did that... What was that? Did that...
it's a documentary about the tour in Iraq.
Okay.
And so they filmed Simon in Iraq. They filmed us at home. They filmed us together as a family when he came home.
Really?
Yeah,
How was that?
very intimidating.
Really? Trying to act like normal families?
Yeah, while they're filming you, yeah.
Yeah.
On holiday.
Really? So where did you go on holiday? Did
Well, we
they...
had a caravan.
Oh, they didn't pay you to go on a nice holiday?
No,
No,
unfortunately.
no.
They did buy fish and chips for us one day.
What station was it?
I don't know. We've got the DVDs. We've got a set of DVDs.
Perbright.
It would BBC, weren't it?
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant where he was stationed.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, it was the BBC that did the filming.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. So did he love it?
Yes,
Yeah, he did.
yeah, but
Well, we didn't want him to go in the army,
No.
but we paid for him to go to college to do horticulture.
Right.
So he did that and he got his certificates and then he went and joined up.
Wow. You can't keep a good man down.
No,
So what was his battalion or?
Royal Horse Artillery.
And that was stationed where? Perbright.
Perbright, yeah.
no, Tidworth.
Tidwell, yeah. He were at Perbright for a while,
That
then
was
went,
his first initial
yeah.
training.
and then went to Tidworth.
And then latterly he was at RAF Leconfield before he left.
Okay. So he moved into the RAF.
No, it was an RAF station, but
Right.
they had army personnel there.
So I don't want to delve into that, but you're watching telly, news of the reports on the telly, and do you know where he is when that's happening? Are you aware of his movements?
No, not really.
So the stress
Yeah, very stressful.
is
yeah.
working out if he's involved in what's going on. You've got, because it's a strange relationship with events. You've got official media,
Yeah. Well, there was an incident once where some soldiers were killed where Simon was, and one of them was actually called Simon.
Oh, Christ.
And we thought it might be him, but we got a phone call. They ran to say it wasn't him.
They actually phoned you up and said it wasn't. I mean, you didn't have to chase them. They actually found you.
No.
That's actually very good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Has he been affected by it?
He has, yeah. He's got post-traumatic stress.
Has he?
Yeah.
So acclimatising to retired life, was that an easy transition for you?
No.
Stressful?
Yes, I found it stressful, you know. It just suddenly I was going to work one afternoon, and I was on afternoons at the care home, and I was going to work, took my snap bag, I called in at the surgery. I'd got my bag with me to go to work, and then I ended up going to Doncaster DRI, and that was it.
Yeah. So was it did you collapse or just have a...
No, just pains in the chest.
We thought he might have had a heart attack, but he hadn't.
He hadn't, no.
We have told him about the incident with the man in the bath.
Oh, no, yeah.
Who was the man in the bath then?
Oh, well, the young man, Steve Baxter, had a epileptic fit.
God.
And fell in the primary bath.
What's the primary bath?
Well, that's where the raw coal went.
Jesus Christ.
I was downstairs.
How deep, just to go back to the beginning, a primary bath is where the coal...
It's where the raw coal hits. It's where the raw coal comes off the belts into the bath.
To a wash.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it separates in the bath.
Right.
The dirt sinks.
Right, I got you.
Yes.
So
And what had happened? I was downstairs sorting out something downstairs, and I had the plant shut, closed down, whilst I was downstairs sorting out the medium for the bath.
Okay.
And what had happened, I'd sorted myself out, got my tanks full, refilled the tanks, and I wanted to set the plant going, because I'd got the management from down the mine shouting and bawling, "Why have you got the pit stood?" So I am blowing the claxton downstairs, asking the young man to start the plant up, to get ready to start the plant up. I couldn't get him. So rather than start my pumps up, which I could have done, I didn't do. I took the decision not to start the pumps up. I went upstairs, and as I came up the stairs, our surface foreman came. He met me. "What's the matter, Colin? Why haven't you got the plant going?" I said, "I can't find him. I cannot get Steve." Anyhow, I came up, and as I came round the corner to where the desk was, where all the buttons were for starting the plant up, I happened to see a helmet on this platform behind the floats. And lo and behold, now what's his helmet doing there? And no man.
Jesus.
So I looked down, and I happened to see this man, Steve Baxter, in the bath.
Good God. How deep is this bath?
It would be 10 to 15 foot deep.
Bloody hell.
And he happened to be on a cross member.
What?
We had a dividing plate. It fell on the dividing plate.
Jesus Christ.
So if I'd have started the pumps up,
He'd have died.
it could have died, you see. So
was he submerged? Was he
it was
underwater?
just laying on his body was submerged. They were just happened to have his head above the water. And I I just simply ran down to my cupboard. I had a rope. I lashed the rope to the fence and lowered myself into the bath.
Good God.
And I'm wrapped round like this with a rope wrapped round my shoulder and arm, so I could hold on with one arm and drag him out with the other. But with him having dropped into this into the medium, which was quite heavy, it is actually magnetite. And you crush the magnet. Well, it's the magnetite comes crushed, crushed to the mine, and then we would dilute the magnetite down.
Magnetite? What's magnetite?
It's an iron ore, a form of iron ore.
And what does that do in the wash?
Well,
Makes the coal float.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah.
But you couldn't pull him out because he was too heavy.
And so one of the engineers from down the mine, he came up as well because I think he wanted to know what was the matter. And he came up obviously the foreman must have said there's a man in the bath, accident here. So anyhow, this engineer came and helped me, assisted me to pull him out of the mire. It was absolute, yeah. Yeah.
God's sakes.
So,
That's got to be one of the most bizarre mining accidents I've heard.
yeah.
And was he all right?
Well, it actually had a fit. The plant never did start up again that night.
Really?
Yes, it took us for the rest of the shift to get him out to, well, it was when we dragged him out of the bath. He was shaking like no one's business. And we got him onto the stretcher, but it was a hard job getting him out because the plant had been so designed, well, we was on the top floor.
God.
And it was all steps, you see, because of the way the plant had been designed. So we had to get him down out, and it was quite a job because it was, we had all the screens on the top, well, from the bath, and then you'd got the screens, and there was platforms all the way around the screens. So we had to lower him down at the front end, strapped to the stretcher. So, yeah.
Jesus. So the plant was closed?
While the day shift, yeah. Because it took us several hours to get him out of the plant, take him down, well, settle him down, and then...
in hospital, or is he?
Yes, he would go to hospital. Yeah.
And so the managers were quite patient with you on that occasion?
Yes, I actually got 2 letters.
Really?
Yes, from the well, I've actually brought them with me. I don't know whether from the management to say more or less thank you for how I'd handled the situation.
Wow.
I got a safety tie.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
They like giving their badges and...
Yes.
Did you bring it? Oh, you did bring it with you. Yeah.
Wow. And was that given to you in a special awards ceremony?
Well,
Sort of.
it could have been, but we've been on nights. I would be in bed. So, yeah.
So you decided to be low-key about it?
Yes, yeah. I'm not the sort. This is why this is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I don't think it's in many people's comfort zone. So what did you do in all this? Where were you? Bringing up kids, or were you? Were you working as well?
No.
You weren't working down the mine.
No. I was a stay-at-home mum for a bit, and then I worked in a shop, and then in an office, and I ended up working for Doncaster Council eventually.
Oh really? What did you do for Doncaster Council?
Customer service advisor.
Customer service advisor.
Yeah.
That sounds very technical.
Taking all the stick from people when they didn't get the bins emptied and the street lights didn't work and there were
Really?
potholes in the road and leaves everywhere and...
God, so you're the person that picks up the phone?
Yes.
Gosh, that's quite interesting. Was it interesting, or was that stressful?
Could be.
When people just, basically, because you are the face of the council,
Yes.
and as far as they're concerned, you are the council.
Yeah. And it's my fault why they haven't got their bin emptied.
Yeah.
Or their trees cut down, or the grass cut, or the street lights are not working.
And do you realise you have people skills, and the whole way of dealing with people that was really quite... Did you have, what's the word? Talents in that direction?
No, really.
No, I reckon you did.
A friend of ours bought me for my 75th birthday. Bought me a book, and it's about the miners' strike
All right.
coming up, and it's quite interesting.
Did you have much? What was your experience in the strike? Did you have a tough time?
It wasn't easy, put it that way, but we had some very good friends who supported us throughout the strike. Yeah.
And that was what, even just down to practicalities like food and...
Yes. Yeah.
And money.
Incredible. And were you having to keep? You didn't have to keep working because often people had to keep the mine going for when the people got back into work. But you weren't one of those.
No.
You were actually on strike.
Yeah.
Yes, I was on strike all the time. Yeah.
12 months.
It wasn't easy, you know. Yeah.
Got 2 children, 4 and 6.
Oh God.
But,
This is bizarre. When my child had been born, the pregnancy, you know, the birth, home birth, with this midwife, and she said, and then my wife, just before she's given birth, all goes horribly quiet. Baby stops, everything stops, and it's petrifying. But the midwife says the baby's just, you know, the heart goes right down, and it's just this awful moment. She says the baby's just waiting, just ready to, just gathering its last strength, you know. And sure enough, she fell asleep, and then was woken up by a whole kind of eruption, and it kicked off again. It was an amazing moment. And I always felt like this is like birth almost. It's like the quiet bit, just as the last bit of energy.
I was just thinking about my daughter we lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, I had an accident at the pit, and I should have been in bed on nights, but yeah. Yeah.
Was she at home? I mean, obviously.
No, she was I was with her. I was just thinking about. My back was hurting, you know, and I wanted to get myself going. I'm not the sort of man to be laid down for long, you know what I mean? I like to get myself going, and yeah. And
road traffic accident, basically.
Oh right.
Yeah.
The lorry reversed over pavement, I
How are we doing?
5 past nearly.
Oh, I'll give you a white spirit makeover.
Spirit.
Bald people always get the white spirit makeover.
Yeah. Give them a smooth look.
Yeah. We can do a lot more in metal finishing, but it's good to start. Get the sandpaper out, emery paper. Buffing wheels.
Time's out, Laurence.
Oh, Christ, thank you so much. Oh, very powerful. Thank you.
Picture of it.
Yeah. What we get? Yeah, we'll do some photographs. If you'd like to stand up, Colin. Moment of truth. Take it home and show the daughters, and then like, look, something like